Welcome back to another episode on Beho Reviews in Gaming and Entertainment. In this episode, we take a look and review Star Wars Squadrons. Developed by Motive Studios and released by Electronic Arts, it looks like EA is on a roll with gaining their credibility back with back-to-back Star Wars games that will impress the fanbase and gamer alike. Promised with no microtransactions, and at a budget price, Squadrons follows as a quality shooter, just like Fallen Order was a quality single-player affair. Bringing back many old memories of Star Wars Rogue Squadron on Microsoft Windows and the Nintendo 64 in 1998, I'm pleased to note that the detail given to this title reaches the same level of love and more since then. This flight simulator and arcade shooter combination for its controls are a great blend as you take flight in space combat only and in a first-person perspective. With space combat in space, there isn't a lot of terrain or environments needed to construct, making this one of the best games that virtually runs smooth on every console, even with a demanding Frostbite engine. Being a budget title at $39.99, I was wary on how much is actually in the game. The modes range from story, which takes you about 12 to 15 hours depending on the difficulty, dogfight, where up to 10 players are split into two groups, which is like a team deathmatch, and fleet battles, where two teams up to 5 on each side destroy each other's capital ship. I myself tend to play with fleet battle more as the matches are longer and have a bit more depth. Of course, recommending story mode first is the best way to play this game, as they teach you all the tricks of the trade while going through the campaign of both the Rebels and the Empire storylines. And being able to try different ships and classes throughout the 14 chapters really helps. Each chapter ranges from 30 to 45 minutes each, with plenty of action and tasks to do. The story revolves around how a captain of the Empire defects to the Rebels after the destruction of Alderaan. These turn of events directly causes the story to impact both sides, as each character you control are involved.
During the Iskalon uprising, you taught me to ignore propaganda. They're traitors, not refugees, and will be dealt with accordingly. I've prepped our usual Sigma 9 loadout.
No. Only standard ties today.
Flying old school, sir. This might be a real challenge after all.
You hear me, Teresa? But I don't think you understand me. I guess we'll find out.
After the main campaign, I feel like it leads you straight to multiplayer in selecting which side of battle you prefer, Empire or the Rebels. I felt comfy with the Empire since the TIE fighters, as they are much easier to maneuver and fire. For the Rebels, the A-Wing is also a fantastic ship to control. They have quick mobility and have a very destructive firepower to boot. The detail in space is nothing special, as it's just space. But all the ship's surroundings are all well detailed, and even when you get up close, as you will lose control at times, you will see the craftsmanship laid out in this game, as the detail given into each ship is impeccable. Great visuals overall with awesome character models leaves the presentation outstanding. My biggest con is during the story mode. Trying to breathe a sense of character development is not the problem, but how they did it just feels awkward. The first time the player meets their teammates, the teammates pretty much open up with their life story and more without gaining any kind of trust from the player, who remains silent. At least when you're playing for the Empire, they are all untrustworthy, and it just makes sense.
I was halfway across the flatlands when those droids shot me down. And believe me, you have never seen a finer crash landing. The only problem was, my arm got caught in some wreckage. Figured I'd rather live my life with one arm than sit around and wait for those droids to find me. Besides, you only need one hand to carry a blaster, right? I dragged myself out of those flatlands with only one arm and a seriously sour disposition. I guarantee those clone boys had never seen anything like me before, but they fixed me up. Then they helped us drive those blasted droids right off planet. If only I'd known that 3 years later, those clones would be replaced by stormtroopers. But, anyway, we should head back to the hangar. The Victorum needs us.
The writing is done well enough to insert decisions on the player side to show some personality, but again, the expectation here is space combat, and not BioWare type of conversations via Mass Effect and Dragon Age. But I still believe, if you're gonna do it, don't do it halfway, and please give your character some kind of personality. Overall, Star Wars Squadrons gets an 8.0 out of 10 for its have to be there story mode, high quality presentation, flawless optimization that runs silky smooth, and great gameplay, leaving you coming back for multiplayer for hours on end. That's it for me on this episode on Beho Reviews. Please like and subscribe if you like my videos. Beho out, and Gray, take us out of here, and I will see you all next upload.
I'm on your wing.
Excellent. No! Our ships are gone. Well done, Titan 3. You got them all.
Damn.